FC Barcelona are not playing around anymore. After back-to-back Champions League exits, they just went all in on Rodri to bring the Champions League back to Camp Nou.
It's a great day for Barcelona.
Think about what Barcelona already have. Lamine Yamal, Pedri, Raphinha, Dani Olmo. Now put a Ballon d'Or winner and World Cup champion underneath them. That's where this gets scary. For years, Barcelona's biggest problem wasn't creating chances, it was surviving the moments after they lost the ball. One failed press, one transition, one exposed centre-back. And suddenly, a great Barcelona performance became another European disaster.
Maybe I've taken bigger L's than anyone else in terms of Europeans' powerhouse football club.
Rodri changes the entire equation. He can slow the game down, win the ball back, protect the defense, and allow Barcelona's attackers to play without constantly worrying about what happens behind them.
It's going to not only help the team control games more, be more dominant, he's going to help defensively.
So, did Barcelona just fix the weakness that kept costing them the Champions League? And if they did, what happens to Real Madrid? Barcelona's problem was never talent. Watch Yamal glide past defenders or Pedri thread a pass through a crowd, and you'd never say this team lacked ability. The problem sat somewhere quieter, in the space between midfield and defense, where nobody was cleaning things up. Hansi Flick's system is built on pressure. His team presses high, pushes the defensive line almost to the halfway mark, and attacks in quick vertical bursts before the other team can settle. It's exciting, it wins matches, and it looks unstoppable for long stretches, but it comes with a cost. The second Barcelona loses the ball while committed forward, that high line is exposed, and there's a foot race back to goal that the defense doesn't always win.
When you play a high line, obviously you're going to be caught, and you look at Barcelona, look at every single goal Barcelona conceded last season, and you will see the same exact pattern.
Watch the pattern closely and it repeats itself. Barcelona loses possession in a dangerous spot. The opponent breaks forward with numbers. The backline scrambles to recover ground it never should have given up. And one bad pass or one missed tackle turns into a goal conceded. It happened over and over in the biggest games, the ones that actually decide trophies. Here's the real issue underneath all of it. Since Sergio Busquets left, Barcelona hasn't had a true defensive midfielder sitting in front of the back four, reading danger before it happens and cutting it off.
They have not had a player to the level in that position of Sergio Busquets like they have now.
Frenkie de Jong tried to fill that role. He's a fantastic footballer. But carrying the ball forward and protecting a backline by yourself are two completely different jobs, and he was never built defensively to do it alone. Oriol Romeu came in and looked overwhelmed at this level. Ilkay Gundogan brought experience but not the physical presence to shut down counterattacks. Every option patched the hole for a game or two, none of them solved it. The result showed up exactly where you'd expect. Champions League exits against teams that sat back, absorbed the pressure, and waited for that exact moment when Barcelona's shape broke down in transition.
You know that the reason they went out of the Champions League and they went out of knockout games was because their midfield leaked goals and their back line was pushed too high up and got caught out way too many times.
That's not bad luck repeating itself 3 seasons running. That's a structural gap that smart opponents kept finding and kept punishing. So here's the contradiction that defined this whole era of Barcelona football. A team stacked with attacking talent, capable of scoring from anywhere, kept getting knocked out because of what happened in midfield. Not because they couldn't score, that's the exact hole Rodri was built to fill. Rodri doesn't walk into Barcelona as some project or gamble. He walks in with a Ballon d'Or on his shelf, a Champions League winner's medal from Manchester City, and a World Cup trophy with Spain, where he was named the best player of the entire tournament. That's not a resume you build by accident. That's a player who shows up in the biggest moments and controls them. Here's what people miss about his time at Manchester City. Everyone points to Erling Haaland's goals or Kevin De Bruyne's passing, and sure, those numbers jump off the page. But look at what happened when Rodri wasn't on the pitch. City lost games they had no business losing. His pass completion sat above 90% most seasons. He won duels at a rate few midfielders in the world could match. And the raw stat that tells the real story is this. Across one stretch, Manchester City didn't lose a single match he started. Not one. Take him out of that lineup and the whole structure wobbled.
Rodri comes back into the starting 11, Man City start winning games. Rodri comes out the 11, Man City fall. Like, this is a guy that is a big key reason behind Man City's Champions League win.
So what does he actually do out there? He reads the game a full step ahead of everyone else on the pitch. Before an opponent even releases a pass, Rodri's already shifted his body toward where the danger is going to be. He wins the ball back high up the pitch, which means Barcelona can start attacks from positions closer to goal instead of dragging play back to their own box. And under pressure, when 3 opponents are closing in and most players panic, he stays calm, finds the pass that breaks the press, and keeps the whole team moving forward instead of sideways.
The technical ability he has as well, that passing accuracy, the way he's able to receive the ball in really tight situations under extreme pressure, never gives the ball away seemingly, completes so many passes. He did that again in the summer.
Now think about what that does for the players already at the club. Pedri spent the last few seasons sprinting back 40, 50 yards to help the defense, which is exhausting and takes away from his creativity going forward.
If you go back to last season and Pedri and the role that he had at Barcelona, he became sort of that deeper line midfielder. And he limited his presence in the attack.
With Rodri sitting behind him, Pedri doesn't need to make that run anymore. He can stay higher, hold his position between the lines, and focus on what he does best, which is creating.
I'm guessing that this is what Barcelona are thinking. We have a deeper line midfielder in Rodri that frees Pedri to get forward, and that makes us a better team attacking.
Frenkie de Jong gets something similar. Instead of being asked to screen the back 4 almost by himself, which was never really his game, he can go back to doing what made him one of the best ball carriers in world football. Driving through midfield and breaking lines with his dribbling, instead of standing guard in front of the defense. Dani Olmo and Fermin Lopez benefit in a different way. Both of them like to drift into tight pockets of space between the lines, take risks, try things that don't always come off. That's fine when someone's covering the space behind you. With Rodri patrolling that zone, Olmo and Fermin can gamble a little more, because losing the ball in a dangerous area doesn't turn into a 5-on-3 counterattack anymore. And Flick now has the options he didn't have before.
The technical levels in that midfield are out of this world. Out of this world. You have so many different profiles, you have so much quality in so many different areas, you have so many combinations of players you can play.
He can pair Rodri with de Jong for games where Barcelona needs more control against a possession-heavy opponent. Or he can pair him with young talents like Xavi Esparza or Marc Bernal when the priority is legs and energy against a team that presses aggressively. That flexibility, choosing the shape of your midfield based on the opponent, is something this squad simply couldn't do a year ago. All of that for a fee around 76.5 million euros. Given what Rodri's already won and what he immediately fixes, that number looks close to a bargain.
If you're talking about quality, this is the best midfielder in the world on the move for 62 million. It's a steal for Barcelona.
There's one more piece that makes this signing different from a normal transfer. Rodri already knows this locker room.
This is a guy that has played with 7 of the Barcelona players in the Barcelona guys in the dressing room with Spain.
He's played alongside 7 of these players for the Spanish national team, sharing a pitch with Yamal, Pedri, Olmo, and others through Spain's biggest tournaments. There's no settling in period, no learning teammates' habits from scratch. He already knows how Pedri likes the ball played into his feet, how Olmo moves into pockets, the timing of these runs. And midfield wasn't the only place Barcelona strengthened this summer. Anthony Gordon arrived from Newcastle for close to 80 million euros. And his goal is simple: give Flick a left-sided attacker who presses like his hair's on fire and stretches defenses with pure pace. That kind of relentless running fits exactly what this system demands out wide. Karim Adeyemi adds another layer, bringing straight-line speed that punishes teams the moment they get caught upfield.
Adeyemi, guys, is one of the fastest players in the entire world. the amount of pace on him, right? And that's something intangible that not every player can just develop.
On top of that, the academy keeps producing options. Hamza Abdelkarim is pushing his way into that squad picture. He was sensational in pre-season. Ebrima Tunkara's doing the same up front, and the arrival of Jesse Bissawu is right there with them. And together, they're creating competition for places that simply didn't exist before. Here's why that depth actually matters more now than it used to. A long season grinds players down, and last year, Barcelona leaned on the same handful of starters match after match, until legs gave out late in the campaign. Now, with that extra layer of quality behind the starting 11, Flick can rotate his lineup through February and March, resting key players before the moments that actually decide trophies, instead of running his stars into the ground and hoping they hold up in May. Turn to Real Madrid, and the contrast gets uncomfortable for them fast.
If I was a Real Madrid fan, my head would be on Mars right now.
They still haven't solved their own midfield question. Jude Bellingham, Federico Valverde, and Aurelien Tchouameni give that team energy and athleticism, sure, but none of them controls a match the way Rodri does. They run hard, they cover ground, but running isn't the same as controlling tempo. That gap shows up directly in El Clasico. Barcelona now has the midfield weight to control the game itself, not just flashes of it.
I'm very afraid of the things Rodri, Pedri, Fermin, or Olmo, or any of these guys will end up doing to that Real Madrid midfield.
Real Madrid can still win individual battles, still create moments through sheer talent, but controlling 90 minutes against a team built around Rodri is a different problem entirely.
Valverde, Tchouameni, and Jude Bellingham are going to be chasing ghosts, bro. They are not going to get a look at the ball, a smell of the ball.
Zoom out to the rest of Europe, and PSG still stand as the team everyone measures themselves against. But Barcelona now has the structure to match anyone's intensity for a full match without losing what makes them Barcelona. Quick combinations, movement between the lines, and vertical speed in transition.
And when you add in a player like Rodri in that position, the control in these matches, man, it becomes so much greater.
And that's the real shift here. This team can dominate possession, protect a high defensive line, and still hit teams on the counter with the same speed that's always defined Flick's attacks. No version of this Barcelona squad, not last season, not the one before it, could do all three of those things at once. This Barcelona doesn't hope its talent shows up. It controls games from the first whistle, builds the lead, protects it, and closes matches out on its own terms. Real Madrid know it, PSG know it, the rest of Europe just got put on notice.